You're watching Las Vegas One. News and information 24/7.
This week on In Business Las Vegas, the real estate market may be poised for a boost. Plus, the district attorney comes down on Harrah's, and some big names in the legal community are joining forces. We'll tell you why. In Business Las Vegas, next.
From Las Vegas One, an inside look at the movers and shakers. This is In Business Las Vegas.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you. I'm Jeff Gillen. Welcome to this edition of In Business Las Vegas, your source for the top business news of the week from the resources of the Las Vegas Sun, Channel 8 Eyewitness News, and In Business Las Vegas. Right now, let's take a look at our top story. Home prices are falling faster, according to a new report, and fewer Americans plan to buy a home anytime soon. That, experts say, could cause prices to fall even further in the coming months. The Standard & Poor's Case-Shiller Index for the first quarter shows existing home prices declined 14.1% from a year ago, compared with a nearly 9% year-to-year drop in the fourth quarter. The steepest declines came in cities that had experienced the sharpest run-ups this decade. For example, prices here in Las Vegas fell almost 26% in March from a year earlier, compared with declines of almost 25% in Miami and 23% in Phoenix. Sales of new homes last month rose 3.3% from March, but sales remain well below last year's levels, and a glut of homes remain on the market. Speaking of that, the Valley's glut of homes for sale is on the decline for the 9th consecutive week. Applied Analysis reports a reduction of nearly 1,400 units in the last 2 months. The number of contingent or pending sales is rising and reached the highest level of the year this week. And now a move by the Federal National Mortgage Association could give the Valley's real estate market a much-needed boost. Fannie Mae is giving in to pressure from the real estate industry and doing away with more stringent down payment requirements in markets designated as areas declining value. All of Clark County, by the way, was on that watch list, which mandated an additional 5% down. The association says it's doing away with the watch list in an effort to help the housing market recover. On a $500,000 home, the lower requirement would reduce the down payment by $25,000. And joining me to talk about the local real estate market and whether or not Fannie Mae's relaxed lending standards will help is Kip Cooper. He's a contract employee from Carrara, Nevada, on loan to the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors. Welcome. Thank you for coming on our program. So, I mean, realtors really are behind the easing of these standards, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, Jeff. In fact, 2 weeks ago, we had a group of about 50 realtors that were in Washington, D.C. We were meeting with Senators Reid, Ensign, our entire congressional delegation, and really focusing on this issue, also looking at making the increases to the FHA loan limits permanent, and also there's a proposal before the U.S. Congress to also provide a credit for home buyers.
I mean, realistically, when you look at this easing of the FHA stuff, I mean, how much of a spark do you think this is going to provide to the local market?
I think it's tremendous. When we're looking at it's a 5% premium that was placed on this. The most difficult aspect of purchasing a new home is the down payment. So to have this 5% premium waived, I think it's going to have a really dramatic effect. There are some great things happening in the marketplace right now. We're really excited. This is the 4th consecutive month where we've seen increases in sales. It is also the 300,000 and less market is red hot. We're seeing multiple offers. Our agents are seeing offers above list price.
Right, but let me stop you in the multiple offer thing. I mean, multiple offers, this is still fairly neighborhood specific. Obviously, you're not seeing multiple offers valley-wide, are you?
In the 300,000 and less price range, we are seeing valley-wide multiple offers in that. You know, when I first came on board with the association...
Is this just like on repos and that type of thing?
I think it's across the board. I think it's housing that is priced well and priced competitively that's under 300,000 is moving. And certainly the bank-owned properties that are under 300,000 are moving. One, because the FHA has allowed for a little more flexibility for new buyers. And two, there's a lot of pent-up demand. You know, this is a valley where for years we've been talking about affordable housing. And finally, we've got a category within that inventory.
You talked about boosting the limit, the FHA limit. I mean, one of the problems here is always what do you do with jumbo loans, because those are still tougher to get. Where does that situation sit right now in terms of the jumbo market? I mean, are you seeing a stalling there or not?
Absolutely. That's probably the most difficult marketplace, is from about 450,000 to 750,000. Yeah. And the folks are having to make some tough decisions, whether they're going to hang on to that home for a while, or sell at potentially a paper loss, because anybody that bought prior to, I saw the news story here where we were talking about 25% loss in value in 1 year. Well, anybody that bought before 2004, saw a 1 year appreciation of 52%. So it's really how you want to spin those numbers, and whether you want to look, as Larry Murphy would often refer to, look at the market through a telescope or through a microscope.
Right. Different people have different assessments of when the bottom will happen. Some say it actually happened first quarter of 2008. Others expect end of this year or going into next. I mean, what is your forecast for when we will bottom out here, or have we hit bottom?
I think there are a lot of factors that show that we've bottomed out. I mean, one thing that you can't ignore is the new construction costs. And it's very difficult for any of the new construction to be competitive with some of the resale. Right. And until we finish clearing out that bank-owned inventory that we have, which is about 50% of our sales right now, they're going to have a tough time competing.
Well, you talk about that, but we're going to have a lot of mortgages, adjustables, resetting at the end of the year. I mean, aren't we going to really see the situation get worse here because of that?
Hopefully, some of the things that we've put in place nationally, and the work that FHA is doing and the GSEs are doing are going to alleviate that. The realtors have worked very hard with some of our credit companies, and trying to do all that we can at the state level and at the national level to make sure that folks can get refinanced and are aware of the programs that are available.
We will certainly be watching it. I want to thank you for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming on the show. When In Business comes back, the Clark County District Attorney goes after Harris. We'll have the details. Plus, some of the biggest names in law combine forces in business. We'll be right back.